Belén, thank you so much for doing this. You've told us that you've been on panels and in discussion rounds since 7 a.m. So maybe you're tired enough now to let us on your secrets. Let's see whether that can happen.
I'm fully energized, always on guard.
All right, good. Excellent, excellent. Wouldn't want it
mainly in front of media.
Wouldn't want it any other way. Belén, many CEOs, also some of those that we talked to today, CEOs of DAX companies, have been in German companies all their life long, sometimes even all their life within 1 or 2 companies. You are the exception. You have managed pharmaceutical companies all over Europe, and then, like 12 or 13 years ago, you came to Germany and you came to Merck. And you're also an exception in the way that you're a medical doctor. And so this is great. We have to use this. And even though you've been in Germany for quite a while, how do you look at the state of the German economy and the state of the digital green transformation of it from your standpoint?
Look, let me start by repeating what I have many times said. I feel extremely welcome in Germany. I have been extremely happy. I consider Germany to be my home country at this time.
You don't have a weather issue, nothing of the sort?
Don't I have? No.
No, okay.
No, I don't have a weather issue. And I don't have, I'm more German than Spanish at this time.
Okay.
So, with the exception of the language, which is a shame on me. But anyway, look, I have been in Germany already for 11 years, and what really struck me when I arrived was that really the strength and the leadership of the country in the European Union, right? We have gone through a critical period, and obviously this had a huge influence on the economy of Germany and on the economics, on the macroeconomic conditions of Europe as a whole. So I don't want to repeat what Christian said. At this time, we clearly have to be accepting that we don't have challenges, that we have a real issue, right? We have a real issue that is influencing Europe competitiveness as a whole, and Germany as one of the major, most attractive markets in the European Union is equally affected. But I continue to be I wouldn't say optimistic, which is kind of a feeling. I continue to be extremely confident that we are going to turn it around. How long it's going to take is a different story.
Rainer already alluded to it, but in spite of these weaknesses within the German economy, you want to turn a German company into a global technology leader. I guess in life science, but also in liquid crystals and other things that your company does. How do you do this? How do you plan to go forward and really be a global tech leader?
Well, I don't know how many of you know Merck already, but I mean, we have been in business for 355 years, which is making this company extremely unique. I mean,
compared to this, Deutsche Bank looks like a startup, yes.
Exactly. So we are a globally diversified leader already in many of the businesses in which we operate. 3 sectors: life science, biopharma, and electronics, which is not now liquid crystals, that was part of the past, which is mainly semiconductors. So we are already a globally established company, and our global diversification is the main source of our resilience, right? First of all, 35% of our revenues come from Asia-Pacific, followed by Europe and then the US. So we are extremely well diversified. In our home market, we have less than 10% of our revenues, so we are already a global leader. And this has taken time, and it has been done with obviously organic investments and to fuel the growth, but most importantly through a very active portfolio management and a great track record on M&A.
Mm-hmm. So you've bought and sold the right kinds of companies. Excellent.
It seems so.
Yeah. And what of your activities in terms of innovation and leading technology do you actually develop and do in Germany? And which ones do you do outside? And how do you decide where to go with what?
I mean, our main headquarters, our global headquarters is in Darmstadt, in Germany, and we are significantly developing and continue to invest in our home market because this is the desire of the family and the desire of the executive board. So those are more strategic investment. We have committed 2 billion investment in 5 years, in a period of 5 years, until 2025. And this goes into building factories for new technologies and also developing hubs, innovation hubs, R&D hubs for life science and for healthcare. So we continue to invest in Germany and we will continue to do so. Obviously, for a very well-established family-owned company, the discussion on how do we invest capital has a component of legacy and values. And we will continue to be investing there. But we believe that global diversification is a critical strength. And by doing so, we continue to expand capacities in our most critical markets, in particular Asia-Pacific and the US, in which we have already a very extensive presence.
So what kind of stuff can you do well in Germany, and what kind of stuff is hard to do in Germany?
Look, I think...
Of course, I'm sorry, but I'm asking after the question, where are the weaknesses and where are the strengths of this economy?
Let me take a different orientation because we have been speaking, as you mentioned already, almost for the full day on competitiveness, right? And competitiveness lies on our ability to deliver growth, right? Profitable growth. And for this, we need to invest on innovation and really making Germany an industrial leader and an innovation-friendly ecosystem is absolutely key to the future growth of the country. And it's the same for Europe. So today, if I take the pharma business, right, and the R&D activities that we are doing globally, Germany is still in a privileged place, but undoubtedly for the whole pharmacist environment, the US continues to capture almost 30% of the R&D investment in the world, followed by China and Japan, then Germany, which is still a leading place in Europe. So we need to make sure that innovation is recognized, that we don't generate inequities versus other European countries in terms of access of new medicines, to access for patients, right? And this is what I believe we need to continue to discuss and debate. How do we make the healthcare system affordable? How do we contribute to that? And at the same time get reward for our innovation, breakthrough innovation in a country that continues to be highly influential in Europe.
Belén, you are a medical doctor. You worked as a medical doctor. What's your analysis? Is Germany right now the sick man, or for that matter, the sick woman of Europe?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say. I mean, a disease is a very serious thing, you know. I think that we can, I mean, the way I look at this is we have symptoms that we have to address, and at the same time, we have to address the root cause. You know, when we speak about digital transformation, probably if you have heard the panel, my colleague José María Álvarez Payete said...
The head of Telefónica.
The head of Telefónica, he said something that actually struck me quite a lot. He said, there is no green transition without digital transition, right? When we look at Europe overall, artificial intelligence is spoken everywhere. When you look at the facts, in 2023, Europe has invested 1.7 billion in artificial intelligence versus 27 billion in venture capital and equity equity fund investments in the US, for example. So once again, it's not the size of the investment, but it's basically aligning our ambitions with the realities that we are living on. So I wouldn't qualify Germany or Europe as a sick patient, right? But definitely the symptoms and the root cause have to be addressed at the same time.
Some physiotherapy might be in order, if I
yes.
get it. Okay. And yet Germany has given birth to companies like BioNTech. Is health one of those fields that Germany and maybe Europe at large should put a bigger focus on?
Look, I think to me there are several learning lessons of that critical period, and this is exactly one of them. Europe and Germany and many other Europe. Let's take the European Union as a whole. We are great in crisis. We are great managing crisis. We unite. We are solidarious. We do whatever it takes to address a crisis. And BioNTech is a great example of, having taken a bold approach at a critical time during the pandemic. And I feel extremely proud of this and having contributed, because we serve the mRNA space and we were collaborating with 80 vaccine manufacturers, mainly BioNTech and Moderna in those days. So yes, there is great science in Europe, great science, and incentivizing and not only monetarily, but creating that ecosystem that will help make bold decisions when it comes to promoting science and technology in Europe is key.
So why is it then that if we have all this great science, that the two most, and that was also part of this famous panel of today, the two most valuable companies in the US are worth as much as the 10 most valuable companies in Europe? And by the way, the 7 out of the 10 most valuable US companies have been born within the last 40 years, and I think just 2 in Europe. Why is this? Where can we find these dynamics that we need to create more prosperity?
I think this is a question that is that probably Christian can address.
I'm going to ask all of you, because I think we need a mosaic of answers.
Look, prosperity is once again, at least in the sector in which we operate, coming from addressing market and patient needs, right? And generating innovation that will drive profitable growth, right? And this is exactly what our focus is. We, as a science and technology company, focus on advancing human progress, right? And through advancing human progress, we aim to become more competitive to drive growth. And if you see the trajectory of our company and the evolution of our own market capitalization, I think we have, to a great extent, succeeded to convince the capital markets that Merck is a safe and prosperous company.
Yeah, and yet, of course, the question always is, what can we do here? And you were pretty outspoken today on this panel about regulation. Is there too much of it, or is it not good enough? Because I think Christian was the one who compared it to the Silicon Valley. He said, we are the Silicon Valley of regulation. Well, the Silicon Valley makes a lot of stuff. It also makes a lot of very good stuff. It seems that our Silicon Valley makes a lot of bad stuff.
I made I mean, you know, I continue to have two major concerns. One is fragmentation, and the second one is over-regulation.
Fragmentation between the membership countries.
Exactly. So, you know, we are at a point in which this unity that we have shown and experienced, and this cross-sector, cross-stakeholder collaboration has been to a certain extent lost. And the pandemic has been forgotten very quickly. Right? I still remember those days, you know, talking to each and every head of state, aiming to find a solution. Everything was easy, everything was agile. We moved at the speed of light, right? So this is possible, this can happen, right? So why do we insist on over-regulating rather than focusing on shaping a roadmap and an industrial policy that is going to enable the German industry to thrive? That is what I believe we need to keep asking, you know.
Excellent. I'm not sure that I have extracted any secrets from you either. So you got to help us out here with at least one thing that the world hasn't known yet about you.
Well, you know, as a CEO, I am not allowed to tell any secrets to anyone.
Because they might be stock price relevant, you mean?
But as a person, I can, you know, I have no secrets. I'm very transparent, very straightforward. And once again, as Christian said, I am really happy to be here. I haven't been interviewed by you so many times, has he?
It was the first time and hopefully not the last. I promise I'm going to get better.
Very good.
Belén, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.